Hey Alex, looks like you're feeling a bit disconnected. Want to talk about it? Yeah, I just don't feel like I'm connecting with anyone here. It's like I'm always on the outside, and no matter what I do, it doesn't seem to work. I hear you. It sounds like you're feeling really isolated and stuck, and that's really frustrating. And sometimes when we feel disconnected, our minds can fall into all or nothing thinking. Like it's either I'm totally connected or I'm completely on the outside. Does that sound right? Yeah, I guess so. It feels like either I'm in or I'm out. And right now, I'm definitely out. It makes sense you'd feel that way, especially when things feel tough. And what if we look at this a little differently? What if connection is more of a process rather than an all or nothing thing? You can feel a little out of place right now and still find ways to connect gradually. I hadn't really thought of it like that. I just feel awkward, and I end up criticizing myself for not being better at this. That self criticism can be really painful. You're feeling awkward, and you're being hard on yourself for it, which is a tough combo. What if we could be a bit more compassionate toward yourself in these moments? Connection is challenging for everyone sometimes, and especially for people who think differently. There's no need to judge yourself harshly. It's a skill that can be learned. I just don't want people to think I'm weird or that I'm not worth talking to. That fear makes a lot of sense. And remember that these are assumptions your mind is making. Can you observe what's actually happening in the room right now? Notice how people are interacting. They're not thinking about you in a negative way. If anything, they're focused on their own conversations. We can't know what others are thinking without checking the facts, right? Yeah, I guess I don't know what they're thinking. It just feels like they're judging me. That feeling is real and it's understandable. And here's the thing, when we have those thoughts, it's important to separate them from reality. We don't have any evidence that people are judging you. Let's try describing what's going on instead of assuming. What do you see happening in this room right now, without adding any judgments? Well, people are talking. A couple of them are laughing, and some people are just sitting and listening. Exactly. Those are things you can see, and none of that tells you that anyone is judging you. By focusing on what's actually happening, it takes the pressure off trying to read minds or make assumptions. And when you stop focusing on those self-critical thoughts, it becomes easier to engage. Yeah, I get that. I just don't know how to jump in. I'm worried I'll say the wrong thing. I hear you. The fear of saying the wrong thing is part of that self-criticism we talked about earlier. What if there isn't a wrong thing? And what if social interactions don't have to be perfect? They can be a little messy, and that's completely okay. You're allowed to participate without everything going perfectly. So, I should just start talking? Yes. The skill here is participation, throwing yourself into the conversation without needing to control everything or wait for the perfect moment. Join in when you feel ready. Maybe you can comment on something someone else said, or even ask a question to show interest. The goal isn't perfection, it's connection. And even if it feels awkward at first, the more you participate, the more natural it becomes. Okay, I can try that. It still feels scary, and I guess that's normal. Exactly. It's normal to feel scared, and you're showing a lot of courage by even considering stepping in. What if, instead of focusing on how scary it is, you focus on being present with the people here, being open to their thoughts and stories, and letting go of the need to control the flow of the conversation? You can just go with it, knowing it won't always go perfectly, and that's all right. I'll give it a try. I guess it's worth seeing what happens if I let myself participate more. You're already doing great by being willing to try. Just remember, observe what's happening around you, describe things without judgment, and then participate fully. Connection is built over time, and you are taking the right steps.